Kia ora and welcome to Swim Chats, a podcast about swimming. I'm Shona Riddell, a writer, former journalist and swimmer from Wellington, Aotearoa, New Zealand. For each episode, I talk to a different guest from our swim community. Please hit the follow button so you don't miss an episode. You can also leave a 5-star rating, which helps other people discover the podcast. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend or two. You can also support the podcast by becoming a swim buddy on Patreon for just $5 a month. Swim buddies get advance notice of upcoming guests and a few other perks. To find out more, go to patreon.com/swimchats. There's a link to it in the episode show notes. And this month we welcome new swim buddy, Rachel. Alright, let's get on with the show. Okay, Dan, welcome to Swim Chats. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you, it's great to be here.
I know you have a lot of different roles in the New Zealand swim community, but because it's currently sort of middle of October, I was thinking we could start off with the Ocean Swim series, which is coming up pretty quickly. For people who don't know, would you like to explain what the Ocean Swim series is?
Yeah, the Ocean Swim Series is 7 swims over the summer season. It's targeted for all levels. We have kids swimming 100 metres, and it goes right up to nearly 90-year-olds this year who compete in their own way. Right, sometimes it's just finishing a distance. It's something they've always done, and it's something everyone can do.
That's awesome. And is it half a dozen events around the country? Is it the same again this summer?
Yeah, so we got Nelson, which is in November. This is going to be the big Tahuna. We've got all the distances from 100 metres to 3.2k. It's an amazing little event, and it's something that the guys from Nelson have been pushing for a good 5 years to get it back there. And they were super excited to have us back last year, and the council was really behind it, which is great. Then we head off to Taupo for a 2-day festival, which that's in January, and we have the New Zealand Swimming Champs, the New Zealand Masters Champs also as part of that, which is all integrated. So it's a massive big 2-day festival weekend, which is awesome. And the lake of Taupo is just gorgeous. Then we head up to Russell, Paihia, for a swim, which is from Paihia to Russell, so it's a nice point-to-point swim. Then we hit Rotorua Lakes, the blue lakes there, a favourite for many, many people. And the new one this year, which is Karapiro. That's a really interesting one because we are doing the first marathon swim event that hasn't been around for quite a long time. So it goes up to 25 kilometres. So we start at 500 metres, and there's a whole lot of distances in between there. And there's a 5k, 10k, and it goes right up to 25k. And it's the first time we're going to be doing a proper relay event for that. So if you can't do 25k, absolutely fine. You can get in there and you can do a teams event of up to 5 people, so you can break it up. And then we hit the Mount, which is a good favourite. Unfortunately, last year we were a bit rained out, and we had to go to Pilot Bay, so we're hoping the surf comes back this year. And then Rangitoto, the big swim from Rangitoto to St Heliers, so another point-to-point. That's probably going to be, it's quite a large logistical one, so it's nice for us that it's at the back end of the season. We've got the whole season to make sure we're all sorted for that one. But yeah, it's like we have 60 lifeguards through that one, so it's massive, and staff, so it's really big.
That's awesome. I've signed up for the Rotorua Blue Lake one again. That's my personal favourite, like you said.
It is. A lot of people love the Blue Lake, and we've been finding that people have been getting more excited about the lake swims, and you ought to see, we've got 3 lake swims this year. It's the Ocean Swim Series, but it's something that allows people to be included. There is a lot, and I find it in the feedback forms every year, is people are worried about sharks. It's not something that's my personal fear, but I've got to put myself in their shoes too, and to make it accessible for people who have those worries. We want to grow the sport, right? And that's the key, and that's why we have the 3 lakes as well.
Yeah, that's cool. I've really noticed how you sort of listen to the feedback and you seem to adjust the swims and certain aspects of the swims each year. like I noticed that you've got a newbie tent now. Is that
Yes.
something that you're just introducing?
Yes, it's new this year, and it's 100% true, right? If you're turning up to the big event, and it's swimming, it's not like it's running. You can probably, get away with it a little bit, but it's swimming, and you're going around buoys a lot of the time. And you know what? You're in the water, and some people, it's their first time, they might panic a little bit. And we've had a lot of that over the years. So we thought putting in the newbie tent, and we'd put it quite close probably to registration. We've got some great ocean swimming friends that are going to be there. At each of the events, so they'll have someone to talk to, and I'll always be popping in and just checking in on them when I can if I'm not out on the field. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really nice introduction for people. That's what we're trying to do, is just make it a little bit nicer for people to, break down those barriers so they can get in an ocean swim maybe for the first time.
Yeah, I think that's really cool because I know what it's like when you come to a big event for the first time and there's a lot of people and a lot going on, and yeah, you can get a bit overwhelmed by the splashing and the
Mm,
activity, especially at the beginning. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a good idea to give people some tips around that. I also noticed when I was registering that you have a new question: Are you an anxious swimmer?
Oh,
And so it was a yes or no question, and I decided to tick yes because sometimes I'm an anxious swimmer. Like if conditions are rough, then I do feel a bit anxious. And so I'm curious to know like what will happen now that I've ticked yes. Like, do I get a
yeah.
special cap that says anxious swimmer on it?
Nearly. We're not going to plaster it everywhere. But so what we're going to do is prior the week to the event. What we did last year is we sent out who was entered in what events, and that was really, really important because what we were having is a whole lot of people entering no wetsuit, but they were wearing a wetsuit. And so the question was, do you wear a wetsuit? And some people actually thought, well, yeah, I wear a wetsuit, but I'm not going to wear it that day. Or vice versa, right? So we've actually had to change that question to, are you wearing a wetsuit during the swim? So it's just spelling out a few things to make things really, really clear and to answer that. And it's just making sure that, we get a better picture of what's going on. In regards to the anxious, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say, hey, look, we'll actually reach out to you and say, hey, you registered as an anxious swimmer. That's absolutely fine. If you need a little bit of extra help, go to the newbie tent. We can help you there as well. But also, we're going to give you a cap of a different colour, no cost to you if you want it. So you would be a different colour.
Just so you can sort of keep an eye on the people that are
Yeah.
a little
So
bit more
we
worried.
tell the
Yeah, cool.
lifeguards, all right, if you're in this colour, and it'll be a colour probably like pink or something that we don't have within the colour range. Look, keep an eye on these guys. We can also offer those people to wear a swim toe float if they're really, really nervous, and that really shows, the lifeguards, and they're really easy to spot. Not just a little pink cap, all right, amongst the flurry of arms. It's a big boy, and we'll talk to them and say, hey, look, maybe you just let everyone go first, and you join in and walk, and just give them a little bit of extra attention.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm in Wellington, and a lot of people in this who listen to this podcast are in Wellington. So I have to ask, do you think you'll reintroduce the Swim the Lighthouse at some point?
Yeah, we
I
really
know
want
you
to.
can just swap swims in
Yeah.
and out.
So, like going back to the feedback, um, when we sent out the feedback when it was my first year, which I took over, that was probably the number one thing that kind of jumped out at us is there wasn't a massive swell of enthusiasm to do that event. It had been around, I guess, for 20 years. It was a massive favour, and it's it's a hard one. Like I remember when we announced it, we had a guy go, "Oh, I've never missed this event ever," and he told us, "I'm still going to swim it." It does mean a lot to the hardcore of Wellington. But we've got to weigh up a couple of things, and we've got to make sure the Wellington gives enough support, and we've got to make sure there's enough support from the local community as well as, people wanting to go. And when that all aligns, we will 100% be back.
Cool. Good to know. And you mentioned the Carapero swim, the new one. I've signed up for that one too, because that one looks exciting. And I haven't signed up for the 25-kilometre version, but it's
Don't blame you.
interesting. It's interesting to know that there's a relay option. Yeah, I do know a few swimmers who are keen to do some sort of long distance relay, so it's good
Yeah,
to
look,
know.
I know a friend of mine. He's in one of our training squads here in Auckland. His name's Woody. He comes to a lot of the ocean swims. Now, he only learned to swim probably like 3, 4 years ago, and he's attempting his first 25-kilometre swim. But he also said, "Hey, I don't want to do it by myself." He's going to continue doing the swim. He's going to do the first leg of the relay and then continue, and then his mates will be able to swim with him as well, which is quite a cool little concept that he's created himself. And he'll have a good little feeding station there and have all the food, and he loves his food, old Woody. So yeah, it's kind of cool just giving that new little aspect to, I suppose, a great festival weekend atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure. And you also have a group of people called swimfluencers. I love that
Yeah.
term. Do you want to talk about them?
Yeah, so a few things have changed since we announced it. I had a few plans to really blow it up this year, but those have changed. So we're just going to keep it to a small few. Those small few will be really important in parts of when they attend. They'll be part of the newbie tent as well, because they're generally people who have swum quite a bit. Also, they're people that can just help reach out to the community, do some videos for us as well, and just show people what a day in the life of an ocean swimmer going to an event could be. So we're going to be announcing those in about a week.
Cool.
Um, we've just had a few changes in that, which is not going to work this year. So we're going to make those ideas that we had. We're going to move them to next year.
Awesome. And you mentioned that you have, hardcore people who do a lot of these events and year after year. So, I mean, I know there are people who have done over 100 of them.
Yeah.
And you were saying all sorts of ages up to almost 90, did you say before?
Yeah.
So are there any, if you feel comfortable, is there anyone you want to name as being a particularly awesome regular contributor to
Oh,
the.
look, there's a couple, but I do want to make a bit of a special mention to Kathy Stops. She's broken the 100, and she is, if you didn't know, she's actually volunteers at every ocean swim. So she comes to Reggio, she helps people with Reggio. She's the lady that helps with the prize giving as well. So not only does she pay to go to all these events, all right, around the country, but she wants to be a part of it. And she's from Christchurch, so she has to fly everywhere. So it's a massive effort for her and her husband. They both come, and yeah, so yeah, bit of a special mention. I don't want to make sure, I don't want to forget anyone, but obviously there's Patrick Gallagher, who's our first centurion out there, and yeah, there's probably one or two more knocking on the door really, really soon.
Wow, that's amazing. And I know you also run other events. So there's the summer swim series. Is that just in Auckland, or is that also around the country? Or is it the same thing?
No, no, it is different. It is different. So we've got the Ocean Swim Series. That's 7 events across the country. In Auckland, we run another 28.
Wow.
Yeah, so 14 of those are the Summer Swim Series, which you alluded to there. That's at Kohi Beach every Thursday. And then we also do the Takapuna Beach Series, which is a swim or it's a sup, or this year it's a sandbox, which is a bit of a gym workout on the beach. And that's 14 events as well. We also have started one new event this year, which is called an amphibian swim run. Or sometimes, I used to do them a lot. I used to waddle. I didn't really run. Bit more of a walk for me when I used to do them. But that's an endurance swim run event and it could be anywhere from 5 kilometres to 50. And what that entails is you will run in your wetsuit, you swim in your shoes, and you'll swim, run, swim, run, swim, run, many legs. So where you can't run, you swim, and where you shouldn't be swimming, you can run.
I feel
And
like
so we're doing one in
swim.
Auckland this year.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, swim run events seem to be growing in popularity. That's the impression I get. I haven't actually done one.
They had a massive increase prior to COVID, and it completely died at COVID. It completely just died. So this will be the first event since COVID. So it's been many years. That's really cool because we're starting here in Auckland. We're getting our teeth into it. We're making sure the safety's right and we have the right team set up and right structure. And that's going to be really important. We're doing that on our home turf because we know all the bays. But the following year, we want to take it out to the Bay of Islands again and do it with some real safety. I've personally done it every year when it was prior to COVID, and I'd like to think I'm pretty safety conscious person when I'm doing that. I didn't feel very safe when I was doing those events. You wouldn't see anyone for hours. So we've got a great structure. Where there might have been only maybe 3 lifeguards, we're going to have about 40 on that course as well when we go up to the Bay of Islands. So it's a huge undertaking, but we've got a whole lot of locals up there really excited for it to happen. So that would be 2027. That will be the first year. So next year in 26 is the first amphibian. We're just going to cut our teeth, get things right, and then in the second year add a couple more events.
Oh, cool. It's good to hear what's coming up. So it sounds like you're organising literally dozens of events each year with the swim series, the summer series as well. So what drives you to do that? Is it you just have a passion for swimming and getting people out there and involved?
I used to be a swimmer as a kid, you know. I think as a 5-year-old, my mum took me to swim lessons. I hated it. I hated it so much. Tom Johnson was my swim teacher, amazing man, and I could not swim further than 2 meters for like 3 years. But he persisted, and it was really good. And then it was the last session of my 4th year of Learn to Swim, and my mum said, "I'm not bringing you back. You're not coming back ever again. You're not getting any better." And I swam 3 times 25 meters with no breathing. And I was like, "Whoop, done. I'm out." Didn't have to swim again for like another 5 years, and then got into it when I was, I think, just 10 years old. Got back into club swimming, had a crush on a girl at swim sports, and thought, oh, she goes to a swim club, so why not I go there? All of a sudden, I got really good, and I didn't worry about the girls back in those days. So it was quite comical. And then as a 11 and 12-year-old, I was very good age group swimmer. Broke many New Zealand records, many Auckland records. In all the strokes, was really talented, but I was also probably, I guess I'd call myself an early developer, now looking back on it. And then hit the ages of 15, 16, I didn't quite have the structure to make it easy or easier to be a really good swimmer. I'm short and stocky if you see me around, and being that tugboat through the water is a little bit harder than those big long slim 6'5" swimmers. And so I decided, that's enough. I'm out. I don't want to do any more of this. Schooling was really tough. I just, worked really hard at school as a 16-year-old. I thought, I'm out. And it's the day that my coach asked me to coach. So then I did 10 years of coaching with the North Shore Swim Club. That was a great time in my life. I really enjoyed the coaching. We could really share with all the swimmers techniques and how to be better people. One of the, I was in charge of the age group program for many years and did a lot of the video analysis. So I've had a lot of teaching around swimming. Decided, hey, you know what? I'm out after about 10 years of that, and then went into retail and wholesale. And when I went into the wholesale, the first event, I was a sponsor of the beach series. And they came to me and said, well, look, we're wanting to move on. Do you want to give this a go? And I was like, kind of fell into it, really. I gave it a go, enjoyed it, had a business partner that helped with the events, and he was awesome. But then we picked up a couple of more events, and that's where we are today. So I kind of fell into it and pushed myself in that direction. But, I love... obviously I am a swimmer. I don't swim as much now, But when you get to see the people come over the finish line, one of the things I've really tried to do in the last 2 years is make it a better experience, because that's important, right? And that helps grow the sport. And that's something I really want to do before I finish.
Awesome. And do you see more and more people getting involved in open water swimming?
This year we have, yeah. It was really interesting, going through the COVID, and I hate talking about COVID, but it's such an impactful time in our lives. Um, we never missed an event during COVID. Every single event went as scheduled, but we had pins everywhere. We had, so many health and safety things we had to go through, especially through council, to get that across. Where other events were just falling over, just cancelling. It was just the easy option. But we wanted to make sure we kept that going. And we all thought after COVID it would just skyrocket, and all sports did. And in fact, the opposite happened. Everyone thought they were going to do it, and then a lot of sports dropped off. Then slowly running's coming back. Triathlons and Ironmans had a big surge. And generally when those two sports have big surges, then swimming comes on after that. And so this year is the first time I've seen that knock-on effect. In our swim squads, we run a swim squad in Newmarket. I've got 140 swimmers every week that train there, and I've got coaches that look after it there. They're awesome. But that is full. It is full. It's the first time it's been full in a long time. So yeah, I've seen it in other aspects as well, and the entries as well. At the first initial influx of entries. Entries are looking really, really strong this year. So yeah, we're hoping that continues.
Yeah, exciting. And so you're coaching a lot of people at the pool. So if you showed up at a random pool and there were a bunch of people swimming and you could all give them one tip to improve their swimming, what would you say to them?
In 99% of the cases, it's pushing the chest down. Especially if you're an ocean swimmer. You're out there in the ocean and you're constantly lifting everything up. All right, you're wanting to breathe, you're gasping. And what people tend to do is after they gasp, they keep their head up or they're looking forward. And what you need to try to do is you need to lift those legs up. And the only way, many people might tell you, hey, get your head down. I find that actually doesn't work as well because people just put their chin down, they bury their head. If you push the chest down, it forces the body and it changes the equilibrium and it just moves those legs up a lot more. So if that's the one thing, that's where you start. You start with the body and then you work outwards.
Cool. Good advice. And so that's for open water as well, you're saying?
Oh, for any swimming.
Any water.
Swimming. Yeah, pool, any water. Most people are just heavy-legged. They might have done other sports. And that's generally the biggest thing. Otherwise, get the head down. Don't have it hanging up there too high.
Just that streamline. Yeah, nice.
And then after that, there's plenty of things. There's 1,000 things we can all work on.
Yeah. Oh, it never ends, right? There's always something to work on. You mentioned before that you did a bit of swim retail. Is that still something that you're
Yeah,
doing?
we're in the swim retail at the moment. So we do the swim shop up here in Auckland, and that's something that's just going through a transitional phase where we're changing a whole lot of products to suit us, and probably look at building that back up over the next 12 months. So it's something it's really good. So it's easy. We can make sure that we work with brands like Zogs. Zogs has been absolutely fantastic for ocean swimming in the past couple of years, and they're coming down, making sure that we've got the right equipment for the swimmers at the events, just in case, hey, you always break them, you lose them, whatever it might be, and they're going to be supporting the ocean swimmers this year.
Oh, cool. I love my Zogs goggles. I've got the Predator Flex.
They are fantastic.
They're so good. They never leak. And they're not sponsoring this podcast. This is just my personal opinion. Although they're welcome to sponsor the podcast. But yeah, so is the swim shop a physical shop or is it online only?
Yeah, so it's in Mount Eden Road, number 66, Mount Eden Road. It's where the old Swim T3 was. I picked up Swim T3 a couple of years ago and I'm working on a slow rebrand. So you will see Swim T3 on the website. There'll be a swim shop website. It's a slow rebrand over the next 12 months. because I want to get the events right too. And my time to really work on that's going to be next winter.
Yeah. You've stretched in a lot of different directions. And so we can all dream. Do you want to talk about Swim Vanuatu?
Oh, have you seen any of the advertising?
Yes,
I really tried to get a bit more film this year. So look, the last 2 years we've gone to Port Vila, and Vanuatu has a real special place in our heart. First of all, they went through COVID like everyone did. They had a massive cyclone which really destroyed lots of infrastructure in the city, and then their airline went down. Right? Remember that's 2 years ago.
I was booked for a swim camp when the airline went down. Yeah.
Oh, in Vanuatu.
Yes. A swim
Oh,
mastery one. Yeah. So I
um,
almost got there.
almost.
But I'd love to go.
So
I'd love to visit.
and so we persisted that year. We took a small group, 10 people, a lot of personal friends. I said, "Hey, let's go give it a go," and it was in Port Vila. We had done a test run with me and my partner Julie, and it blew me away. Like there's some beautiful water out there, and there's lots of places with beautiful water, but I'm stuck here in Auckland, and to be in a harbour and see 5 meters crystal clear, it blew me away. Like in the actual harbour, this is where the big ships come in. This is where all the containers come in. It's just glorious. And we stay at an island called Irariki. Fantastic place, and you can swim around it. So we get a couple of swimmers that swim around it, and we went to Port Vila, and then we uh, looked for locations that were again gorgeous water, blue water, and just offered something different. And then what we found with Port Vila is a bit adventurous. There's some really nice areas. There's the lagoons you can go to, the Blue Lagoon, which is amazing. But we take people to a couple of offbeat beaches you'd never go to as part of it. And the Port Vila experience is fantastic. We go out every night. We just put on the WhatsApp and go, hey, me and Julie, we're going for dinner here. You're welcome to come. And generally, everyone comes. And then we just have a big group of people. We go experience all the foods in the town. We know where to go now, which is great. And it's just a truly relaxing holiday. So we've got three official swims, but everyone generally WhatsApps each other and they swim every day. Probably my personal favourite swim is Havana Harbour. It's about an hour drive up the coast, and it's just absolutely gorgeous live coral, amazing fish, life. You get to see your turtles, which is it's so nice when you come from New Zealand. You've got some clean water, but it's normally I've got to go out to the poor nights or something to see kind of fish like that. So yeah, Port Vila was absolutely amazing, and then after Port Vila this year, we thought, hey, let's go check out Santo. Everyone talks about Santo. So Santo's and Port, is one of the 83 islands of Vanuatu. So we rocked up there. We sent everyone home after Villa, and we decided me and Julie go to Santo, and we got there. And this is part of what we do, right? We scope out everything, make sure it's right. And the first day, I don't want to give them too much bad press, but we went on this tour, and it was down the left side of the island, and it's an hour of potholes, and it was horrifically horrible. It's just, I know, if you get a bit older, you're going to get a sore back kind of thing. So we made sure, okay, we're going to stay away from that side for now, but we can't wait for their new highway that they actually are building up there, because that will just give so much more tourism up that left hand side. So we stuck to the east coast, and then we went to the east coast, and after a bit of a average day out there, we went out and we saw Champagne Beach, and we were just like, this is amazing. It is absolutely gorgeous. You got a massive beach, and it's really well looked after. All the locals on the east side really know tourism. It doesn't have a lot of tourism, but they do a great job. No rubbish, all that kind of thing. So we get to Champagne Beach, little market there that you could buy knickknacks. Went into the water. The first thing we see is this massive big squall of fish. and it just didn't leave us, just hung around, and we could swim through it, and it split up, and it just kept around, and um, it was just a really nice experience to get into, the start of Santo. Went for a little swim out to the back, super safe. Lots of live, beautiful coral, sort of stingrays and turtles. The one thing we really want to see is dugongs. Um, and so we've organised a few trips next year to make sure we do see the dugongs, which will be quite cool. But absolutely gorgeous. Out of the four blue holes, three of them are on Santo. So the blue holes, there's a whole lot of fresh water that comes up through the limestone. It's crystal clear. You can see just about 80 metres on some days to the bottom of these holes. It's gorgeous, and it's a deep blue. And there's fish that swim up there from the coast. But they have a little river, and you can either swim in or out from the ocean. And that's going to be one of our swims next year. It's going to be really, really different, really awesome. We went down there this year in a boat as well. It's just listening to the birds, listening to the locals in the background. It's really relaxing. It's going to be fantastic if you're a non-swimmer as well, because you get to kayak in these places. Just check out swimvanuatu.com. Check out all the videos. Check out the Facebook pages. I'm throwing stuff up every day. So yeah, it's gorgeous.
I love your description of it, and we can link to it in the show notes so people can go and dream. And I just love swim camps so much. Like as I mentioned, I just started swimming like 4 or 5 years ago, and now swim camps are my favourite thing because you can look forward to them and swim in different parts. We're just so lucky with the options we have in New Zealand that we can fly north, not for a couple of hours, and then we're in these amazing locations.
Yeah, we're really lucky. You're right.
Well, I've really enjoyed talking to you, Dan. Is there anything else you want to mention that we haven't already covered? Like we can link to the Ocean Swim series, the Summer Swim series, Swim Shop, and Swim Vanuatu, all your different projects. But yeah, is there anything I haven't mentioned yet that you're also doing as a swimmer or swim organizer?
No, I want people to have a really good experience. I think out of anything, that's the most important. So get them to reach out to us. Generally, we get everyone to reach out to info, but most of the time it will come through to me if it needs to. And Gabby's a great administrator. She looks after everything. She's fantastic on looking after everyone. But yeah, look, if there's anything you guys want, and if you Wellingtonians want us to come back, you got to step it up. And when we send out the surveys at the end of the season, we actually send it out to the entire database. So maybe you haven't swum a couple of years, maybe you want to come back and you want to come back to Wellington, or maybe there's another location. We do have 2 other locations we're scouting currently for a 2027 experience as well in New Zealand, something for a little bit different. And of course, whenever we go to a new location, it does mean we have to probably drop a location because we can't swim everywhere all the time. The population is just not that big. But hopefully we provide new experiences when we do.
Cool. One question I was going to ask is, do you ever provide winter swim events in New Zealand?
Yeah, we had a couple. We had one. We kind of call our Vanuatu our winter swim. And one of the other ideas is a new winter swim. So it's an idea. We haven't put it in. We've got to make sure there's a few things that work. 1, does the place have accommodation near it for everyone? 2, how expensive is it to run the event? Because if we can't run the event, if we can't get that across the line, there's no event. So those are 2 really important indicators. But 3, is it something different, and is it somewhere where people want to go? So yeah, we've got a couple of ideas. We've got one new summer swim we're looking for 2027, and we are looking for a new winter swim for 2027. But yeah, we'll see what happens. A lot of ducks have to get in a row. We've got to make sure council's working with us, and they want, councils need events, that's for sure. So
yeah, cool. Well, I can't talk on behalf of the entire swim community, but thank you for all the different opportunities you provide for people to swim in different parts of the country. and beyond.
It's great fun. It's great fun. I get to do it with all my friends. They come around, they help out. And of course, then I get to see all the, I call them friends too, right? All the swimmers that come back year after year. I sometimes feel really rude. I do, because I'm in event mode. And I'm like, I've got to check this safety, I've got to check that, I've got to check this, and then people just want to catch up, which is fantastic. But I can't always do that. So if there's anything that I would mention, if you do come to the swims, come to the after functions this year. We're going to be putting on a couple of after functions, not official, but we're just going to tell everyone where we're going to be. So come have a chat there and let's catch up.
That's a great idea. Awesome. Well, thanks for your time today, Dan. It was good to meet you.
Pleasure.
I'll probably see you in person over the summer.
Yeah, I know your face now.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll have my special cap. Thanks for listening to this episode of Swim Chats. Please remember to follow or subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you enjoyed it, you can leave a 5-star rating and review, which helps other people find it too. Enjoy the water, and we'll see you next time.